In this video, we're going to go over everything that you should do in the start of Season 1 this week to get your eye level over 600. Now, of course, you're still going to do the weekly quest that you have available in each of the regions and everything you've been doing thus far. If you don't know what that is, I recommend checking out my previous video for everything that you can do in a week for the War Within. In this video, we're adding on to that. The first major thing is going to be the opening of the world bosses. So the first world boss is going to be available and you can go ahead and hunt it down. These world bosses will drop gear that is at 603 eye level if you're lucky enough for it to drop. There's nothing crazy about it, but it's definitely a chance to get a free upgrade. And there we go. It looks like we got nothing. We didn't get... Wait, did we get something? No, we didn't get anything. That's unfortunate. But at least you get to try every week. The next thing that's available this week is the normal and heroic version of the Nerub-ar Palace Raid, which can be found in the Azj-Kahet region right at the bottom left. You can see it should be on your map as this little icon over here at this building. You can't miss it. The entrance is, it's like it sticks out like a sore thumb. It's right there. Now, the normal raid is going to drop 603 eye level gear roundabout. Some of them are going to be 606, some of them will be 600, but on average, you're going to be getting champion gear. In the heroic raid, you'll be able to get, well, heroic level gear, which is going to start from 610 eye level and upwards, sometimes pushing as high as 619. The first wing of the raid finder for the raid is open. You can go ahead and queue this. You will need the eye level of 567 to be able to queue. And this is going to drop veteran gear, which is going to start between 584 and 593. You should also know that Mythic 0 raids are now out, which means that you can go ahead and grind those. You're able to do them once per day, and the portal room to access the 4 that are not in the region of the War Within can be found in this room over here. If I open up the map, this room is located right over here in Dornigal, so you can make your way just here, where you can take the portal to the Timeways and access the 4 raids that are not available in the War Within, continent. Now, the 8 raids that we have are the Stone Vault, the Necrotic Wake, the Dawnbreaker, the Siege of Borealis, Mists of Turnus Scythe, Grim Batal, City of Threads, and Arakara, City of Echoes. Those are our 8 dungeons that we're going to have this season. This also does affect the dungeons we're going to be doing in Heroic. You'll see heroic raids now award you 580 eye level gear. So Adventurer, 4 out of 8 gear, 580 is what you'll get as your reward for completing heroic dungeons. Doing a Mythic 0 dungeon is going to award a 593 Veteran 4 out of 8 track item. Mythic Zeros aren't crazy right now. Once Mythic Plus comes out next week, things will change, but to get 593, this is definitely a nice little way to push up, and you can always item upgrade these another 4 times to get them to 606. Another thing that opens up this week are Delves. Delves will get a weekly quest, which can be accessed in Dornigal right over here at this location. You should find a quest for it immediately once you get to this region. You'll see here you can get a weekly cache for completing 2 Nerubian Delves. You'll also see the 2 NPCs, either on the left or the right of him, will have, treasure stuff that you can buy with Undercoin, which is a new currency we're going to be collecting. These are going to buy you, well, restored coffer keys or even upgrades to the Delver, helicopter mount and toys and, a variety of other things. This includes warband gear at 580 eye level. So if you're trying to gear up an Elt, this is probably a good way to get them to 580 pretty easily, I guess, depending on how hard it is to get this currency. If you head over to your group finder, you can go to the Delves tab at the bottom right here, and you'll see that Bran now has his level capped unlocked, so you can continue leveling him up, as well as his, special items that he gets. You'll also notice that he gets a Delver's Journey that is going to award things as you progress this and, I guess complete Delves. This goes all the way up until you can, get all these rewards. Now, you will see when you go to a Delve, you are able to access more than Tier 3 this time. You can do up until Tier 11. But generally, as a word of advice, you're going to want to get around Tier 8, because everything caps out at around this level. Now, in order to unlock further tiers, you will have to complete them 1 in a row. So, for example, Tier 4, if I do a Tier 4 successfully with revives remaining, which is something that is now tracked, as you can see here in your objectives, we have revives remaining. I have 5 out of 5, and the higher level you go, the less revives you get. And if you survive with all of these revives remaining, you will get the highest reward that you can from doing this delve. The more revives that you lose, every time you have to release your soul and revive your body, the reward at the end of the delve is less. But luckily delves are not timed, so as long as you don't complete it or, fail it, you can always leave and start it over from the beginning without it failing. Now, I do recommend using the normal delves, and by normal delves, I mean the ones that look like this, to level up to tier 8. And then once you are at tier 8, you can start doing bountiful delves that look like this. You'll only get 4 of these per day, 1 in each region of the War Within. And this is where you're going to be getting really good rewards right now. This is because a bountiful delve is going to give you a bountiful coffer at the end of the delve that is going to have a much higher eye level drop than what the normal delves will have. However, it will require a restored coffer key to open, which you get weekly by doing weekly quests and, collecting the little shards for it by doing some world quests throughout the week. You're going to want to try use these keys around tier 8 or higher, and the reason being is because, well, when you do a tier 4, you can see here that the eye level gear that you're going to get is 577. If you do a tier 5, you'll get a 584 eye level. At tier 6, you're going to get 590. Tier 7, you're going to get 597. And tier 8, you're going to get 603. You should know that tier 8, 10, and 11 are also going to give 603. So all of these pretty much give you the same reward for the last 4. So tier 8 is the most important one to reach. Now you should also know that delves are going to count for your Great Vault. The Great Vault over here, if I go ahead and I preview, you can see by doing 2 delves, you'll get access to the first reward, 4 delves, the second reward, 8 delves for the third reward. Now the reason why this is so good is because doing a tier 8 will give you a 616 eye level reward in your vault for the following week. At tier 7, you'll get 610, tier 6, 606, tier 5, 603, and tier 4, 597. So for this first week, the highest tier rewards that you can get without having Mythic Plus out this week is going to be from your delves, assuming that you push them to tier 8, which shouldn't actually be too difficult. The PvP season will be starting this time, and you can see this is your new seasonal mount that you can get for PvP. If you don't know where the PvP vendors and things are located, they're over here in Dornogal, so at the bottom right of the map in this location. Now honor gear is going to be at 558 eye level. Now while these are not usable in PvE like you could use in the past, these are actually terrible for PvE, but when you use them in PvP, they're going to be increased to 626 for arenas and battlegrounds. And the epic versions will be increased to 639 eye level in arenas and battlegrounds for spending conquest. This also means that bloody tokens are now collectible as well. Now your weekly catalyst charge is also available now. This is something you probably noticed because the quest giver is located right over here in Dornogal. Very easy to spot from the above, area. So down here where I'm standing, you'll see there is a quest. This is just to the point to bring you to this location. It's going to unlock the catalyst, which is the machine to the left of him. And if you interact with this machine, you can turn any piece of gear that is veteran track or higher into tier set. So for example, if I want to change my head item, I can change this into a tier set item so that I can get that bonus. Now you only get 1 catalyst per week. You don't want to spend one of these catalysts turning an item into a set piece and then only have it replaced by, a raid that you did that evening or something. Now doing all of these things as well as everything you can do weekly in the game, I do have that video linked in the description down below in case you don't know what to do weekly or you're just starting to play properly. You should be able to get yourself to at least 600 eye level by the end of this week. You're just going to have a bit of grinding to do, especially with those delves. I wish you guys good luck, and I'll see you guys in a future video.